Schteen! Schteen!
Well, today we are going to look at a discovery, but not one of the one I listed in that first video. Today we're going to begin at the beginning. And so these ideas we're going to talk about what to do come from Sanford Meisner's book on acting, and from Michael Shurtleff, who wrote a book way back, way back, called Audition. And they both are talking about working with actors, trying to get them to this point of success. So today we're going to answer the question, what do you do? What do you do in that first moment when you're with your partner or partners and you're before an audience? What can you do to ensure that you're creating a scene that's spontaneous and playful? So we're going to look at that. And we're going to go back in time to when I first discovered this some, 30 years ago.
And so this is me at that time, and I am going to show you the moment when I told the company about something that might be as vital and important as yes and.
Okay, if you want to just join me, because I'm going to say something that I tried to tell the lacrosse class. No, it's really something that's happened to me that's different. You've sort of struggled through this transition of me trying to come to terms with finding the means by which I can communicate how to do the intuitive spot. And you remember we did a lot of work with the SN. And I've done so much work with the SN, and I've discovered that it's not the best thing. I know that we know that yes and is the rule of improv, the biblical almighty 10 commandments in that many words. Yes and. Taking the moment and into it. But the problem that we've always discovered, even when we're doing it, is that doing yes and, yes, it gets us into that point of acknowledging and being positive and going with, but it still does not necessarily lead us to an intuitive play, because we can still move into our heads even when we're doing yes and. And so what I found really is the more valuable means of bringing yourself into the moment, which is what we're really talking about, is that moment of finding a moment that's important to you, and just sharing the image and letting it be, without acting, without showing, without demonstrating what it is, just being relaxed and showing it. Because that is a place where you bring yourself, you, into the scene. That could be translated into being there, whether you're doing improv or whether you're doing a speech or whether you're using a script. It's what, we talked about the moment before. Stanislavski refers to the moment before, or directors say, take stage. And that's really what that means. And that is above and beyond learning your lines, wearing your costume, showing up on opening night and making your entrance. That still doesn't guarantee that you're going to be there. And so a very simple method of getting there is to find that moment in your life that's important to you, beginning with a single image and sharing it, without having to feel like you're acting it or demonstrating. Okay? So, that one?
That chair scares me.
It scares me too.
Both of them are,
It's a scary chair.
So here they are, sharing a moment that's important to them and relaxing and just projecting it outward. So they're coming in touch with their own inner emotional life, which they can then make eye contact with their partner and share it to begin the scene in the right place.
or you're talking before a scene, or before you're going to go into it, or when you're beginning it, that's always a good place to start. It doesn't make any difference what it is. It's totally irrelevant to the next moment. But at least you are there. And I like to say that if you're not there in the first moment, at the first line, when you enter the scene, what are the chances you're going to be in the next one? It gets exponentially more difficult, because then you begin watching yourself. And then you begin listening to the audience, watching for response, and you've already lost that pathway into the intuitive, which makes you less self-conscious.
3.
Yes, and.
3.